he was very passionate about fitness. I was not. I was preparing to become a judge. But for this, I must become a millionaire, looking to open around 150 gyms in the next 5 years. We are going to create the market. We are going to expand the market. Fitness is not a luxury anymore. We are replacing live agents with digital information.
People come back and initially say, oh, you've stolen money from my bank account because you've taken my direct debit, I didn't come to the gym or whatever.
They were informed.
They can do magic with the camera, they can do magic with the mic. I mean, they're so confident.
I don't have the time to go to the gym, even though now we have how many?
You have your own gyms? Thanks for doing this, Alexandra. Really appreciate it. I know you got stuck in traffic and it took you longer than what you anticipated. A lot of times things happen in life and you don't know why they happen the way they happen. And I know that you spoke in the past about your being into this industry by accident. You were not passionate about fitness.
That's true.
And then you've been able to achieve what you've been able to achieve in spite of that. Run us through how you got into this industry by accident.
Yeah. 12 years ago, I met my husband, then my future husband. And he was very passionate about fitness. I was not. I was in law school. I was preparing to become a judge. I even passed my exams to become a judge. But then Dacian, my husband, pitched this fitness industry so well. So he convinced me to give it a try. I said, okay, I will not become a lawyer, but a businesswoman. But for this, I must become a millionaire. I must have more time, free time, more flexibility. And this is how everything started. He had a PT studio in a small city. But just right after we got married, we opened the second fitness studio.
Wow.
We had our first employee, and next year, the third PT studio. I was focusing on growing this business because, as I mentioned, I was not into fitness. But
So you were the business of fitness in a way.
Yes, like that.
So, and your husband loves the fitness part of it.
Yes, he's the best.
Right.
Actually, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he convinced somebody who wanted to be a judge. So I don't want to pass a judgment, but I agree. He's good then.
Yes, right. And I had this final destination in my mind back then, 10 years ago. I was working on scaling our business. So it was not by accident that we scaled our business. After a while, we started to take all the money that we could from the banks, even EU funds, and we opened our first 24 hours gym in our county, in Hunedoara. And after that, we moved to Sibiu, a bigger city. So we went from small to bigger and bigger. And last year, we met Milan from Vector Holdings, and he presented us this new BeFit concept that aligns very well with our old bars fitness concept that we developed. So we are a great team now, expanding and looking to open around 150 gyms in the next 5 years.
From somebody from somebody who didn't like fitness and had a business, I would say, because you're preparing for law, you're more inclined towards thinking and doing things in a more organized manner. You did not see yourself as fitness. And then the two of you got together and you realized that there is potential, and you were looking at. So at what point of time did you think that this is the right decision? And at what point of time did you think that, it was not a bad decision to not take on that journey of being a judge, but being in this industry and building a business?
I think after 1 or 2 years when we kept opening gyms, because I love being creative. Yes, I have this lawyer background and I love procedures. Trust me, I'm the best at procedures. But I also love flexibility, creativity. I love being around people. I love coaching people, understanding them, and we have thousands of clients. I just love being around them, and as I mentioned, I love creating a new gym, a new procedure, a new service in our business.
So would you say you're an entrepreneur first, or you're a fitness professional first, or you're a hybrid between that? How do you introduce yourself? So somebody doesn't know who you are.
I'm an entrepreneur. Actually, I love being an entrepreneur. But also, I am a certified personal trainer.
See, there you go.
Because I started to see the importance of a healthy lifestyle, and I think this should become our second nature. Wellness.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge the world faces today. On one end of the world spectrum is people dying of hunger, poverty, no food, and then the other hand, you have the developed world where child obesity is being discussed. So on one end of the spectrum, you've got people who have not got enough food, and there's one end of the spectrum who are overeating themselves into bad health. Most people in the world today are dying because of lifestyle diseases, choices they make. So people like you and me are doing service to the world. Yes, we are making money. I don't, and I think making money is not a crime. You're making money by running a business. We're not selling people cigarettes. We're not selling people the wrong things.
Totally agree.
We are giving them good health, and in the process, we are making a living. And that's amazing. So, one interesting thing you mentioned that you started seeing potential after 2 years, right?
Yes.
So what were the green shoots that you saw that made you feel, yeah, I think we can grow this really big?
I saw that we are creating the market. So when Dacian opened his first PT studio, nobody knew what a PT was in that small city.
Which year was this?
Year 2015.
Wow.
So 10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah. I started my gym chain in 2015 as well.
What a nice coincidence.
Yeah.
Right. And after a couple of months, he was full. And then he moved in a bigger space, in a bigger gym, PT studio.
So how small was the first studio?
Oh, it was just a room.
Wow.
You can imagine that. Just a room.
Amazon started from a garage. So did Apple. So it's all about how well you execute it and where you want to go. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about our industry. You don't need to have, people always say, oh, you need to have a lot of money to do business. Not really.
No.
You need to have the passion.
Yes.
And also perseverance to make it big. So starting from, just imagine in 10 years. I mean, it's so nice to hear this. In 10 years, you're talking about having a gym in one room to now we'll open 150 gyms.
Yes.
In the future. Wow.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So tell me now, from that one small studio, what was the next step?
After that one small studio, we moved into a bigger space in that city. And after that, we opened a new PT studio in a bigger city, the next bigger city. And we had our first employee. And the second year, we had a third PT studio in another city. And after a while, when we had some credit score, we took some money from the bank and we opened a real gym. And that was after 3 years, actually.
And how big was that gym?
Let me think. Around 300 square meters was
So that was
the
a proper
first
commercial gym.
Yes. It's still open today.
Really?
It's a nice gym, crowded gym. Yeah.
You feel nice when you go there?
Yes.
And so when was this
Like
launched?
home.
2018, is it?
1919.
18, 19.
19.
Yeah. So just pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
So how did COVID impact your business? What happened when COVID hit you?
It was interesting. It was because we had these developing plans. We had money. So during COVID, we bought some real estate to open gyms, and we could manage to keep our employees there. We didn't close, so we were pretty good. And just after COVID, we were still there, existing. We just opened the doors, and everybody just came in.
How did you manage your landlords, your leases? So you had a few gyms.
They were nice. Yes, they were nice, and we didn't pay.
Wow.
Yeah, during COVID.
Wow. That's good. That's nice to hear.
Yes, nice.
And do you think this was across the industry in Romania, or was it? Did you hear cases where landlords did not?
No, we were lucky. Actually, we were truly lucky. Most of the gyms, small gyms, just closed.
Closed. Yeah. So, at the core of your BeFit strategy, at the moment, the way you see it, how would that impact your pace of growth, and what's your core strategy today?
I think our strategy is based on the market, on the new generations. We have this new, fresh concept based on the new generation, Gen Z. We saw they are consumers. There are so many youngsters who just hang around in the gym. And the gyms got crowded with this young generation. And we imagine this new concept that aligns to their values. What do I mean by that? We automatize, digitalize. We have this nice, fresh, welcoming environment. And also, we are the first low-cost fitness chains in Romania. And I think we are perfect for this new generation.
I saw one of your gyms before that it was launched. I don't know, is it launched now or is it still?
We are going to have the grand opening in Timișoara on Thursday.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
I visited it the last time I was here. It was yet to open. It's a green thing. Yeah, I remember
with
seeing that. And I
logo.
also remember the gentleman there told us about, he said that, you can even control the air conditioning. Everything is via technology because people, and you're right, when you look at Gen Z now, most of them don't even want to talk on the phone. They want to chat with you.
Correct.
Right?
We don't have a sales department because of that.
Exactly.
We are using AI, a chat.
And people are more comfortable in that. Everybody wants to chat on WhatsApp. So I struggle with my own, Gen Z. I don't know if Beth is Gen Z, but I ask her, you pick up the phone and call, says, why do I need to make a call? I can WhatsApp somebody, but I am very, I would always think, and that's where we are different.
Yes.
But though we are different, if you have to get work done, you work in the most efficient way. So if you're looking at Gen Z to come into your gyms, I think it's a very good approach. I quite like that, what's been created as a model, where you're saying it's almost like a no staff model. There is you come and use, nobody's going to bother you.
Yes.
You can have your headphones on, you can listen to the music, and it's just very Gen Z in terms of the approach you've taken. Tell me, what was the study that went behind this that you thought? Was it just a gut feel thing that I think this will work? Or did you see something happening in the industry that made you take this leap of faith saying that, you know what, we're going to make a new model and which is not going to be like anybody else? Usually being the first person to do something takes a lot of courage.
Yes, we saw Gen Z coming to our gyms and having this behavior. And being our clients, we always try to emphasize with them to get to know them better. And we paid attention to their behavior and needs. So, we saw that they like to post on Instagram. So we have a wall for Instagram selfies. They don't like to speak on the phone.
Correct.
Then we have this chat bot.
They definitely don't like a salesperson talking to them.
Yeah.
There's like, even if they want to buy it, they won't buy it. They want to be left alone.
Of
they
course.
want to do and they want to, they would do most of their shopping online. They're the guys who go online and shop everything online.
Yeah, we have no cash in our gyms, in BeFit gyms. We have no staff or few staff, one person there taking care of the gym. Our staff is not selling memberships, not selling tickets. They are there just to take care of our clients.
So before I get into the BeFit model in more detail, can you run me through so obviously you have now merged with BeFit and that's what happened. So if you could run us through what happened. Because I know recently, when I was here last time, I was talking to Alexandra from, Stay Fit. And he was telling me that there is probably, you're going to merge with somebody and, there's a lot of news in the market because of what you achieved. You're going to merge with somebody. So tell us how this entire thing happened. When did you start this discussion? What is the process? Because this is a very good stepping stone in the life of an entrepreneur where they become part of a bigger mothership and then help them grow it. Because I think very rare to find good entrepreneurs. If you get the right person in the driver's seat, you can accelerate the growth very quickly.
So I have a saying, better late than ugly. And what do I mean by that? We're starting having in mind that at some point we want to have an exit, and we prepared for that.
Nice.
Meaning procedures in place.
Yeah, the lawyer inside you,
yes,
obviously.
Yes, of course. And have everything as good as possible. Not perfect, because you are an entrepreneur. You have to be fast, to adapt, but also to just pay attention to structure, to your vision. Who you want your company to become, because I like to compare our business to a person. Correct. In order to explain to our employees, our trainers, what is it all about. So I like to have this comparison. So we started with this in mind. We had everything in place, and it just happened that we starting to address to Gen Z, and also the BeFit concept is structured like that towards Gen Z. And when Milan first introduced us this concept, we said, wow, this is what we do. So, yeah, I think we are going to do great things together. And then we had over a year of due diligence.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
Yes.
The most painful process.
Yes. It was not that painful because I had all documentation. So I did
because
all the paperwork.
Because you're a lawyer, we are entrepreneurs. We are pure entrepreneurs. We don't do follow. What do you mean by process? We don't follow any process. We do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, so I had everything in place. But yes, it took for more than a year to complete it.
And did you at any point of time feel that this is not going to go through and we may have to go separate paths? Or was it always okay, just...
No, it was not always pink flowers.
Yeah, obviously.
Or that, but we knew that we have to go through these processes to receive what we wanted to be together in this new concept.
So what's the role that you would play in BeFit? What are you going to be doing? You and your husband, where do you see yourself in this organization?
So we already work in this organization. I am the operational manager in BeFit, and my husband, Dacian, he's a regional manager. He opens clubs in Transylvania.
Nice. And when you say you're going to expand to 150, where do you think your biggest challenge would be?
Okay. I think the biggest challenges are related not to operations, because I'm good at it. So, but to finding new locations, because we have an ambitious plan: 150 perfect locations in Romania.
How do you find locations? What do you think what does it take to find a good location? Define a good location. How do you say this is a good place for us to open this particular concept?
You have to be close to someone's job, school, home, standalone buildings, nice buildings, easy access from the street, open space, so the machines are not crowded in there. So these are the main characteristics of a good location.
And what's the typical size that you would look at for this gym?
There are two concepts. Concept one, close to, between 500 and 900 square meters, and then concept two, between 900 and 1,500 square meters.
And if I go back now in 2000 to 2015, right, and how this has evolved, at what point of time did you think that you're going to be doing gyms like this? Because your initial concept was not this. And then you slowly realized that there's a gap in the market. At what point did you...
After COVID.
Okay.
After COVID, the market changed. The appetite for fitness increased, and we saw that. Generally speaking, the whole population and more in the Gen Z.
So Gen Z, which was not usually going to the gym. And I think they also, a lot of times people get intimidated by gyms. They feel that, when they walk into the gym, it looks people full of, big muscles and, throwing weights around, while these guys just want to come and do their thing and go. And they're happier with that, Gen Z. So what was your initial concept? So if I go back and say you had a personal training studio and then you opened a normal commercial gym, what was your core as a business at that point of time?
To have a unique service. And when we opened the first real gym, it was a 24/7 gym. So we wanted to create something unique, and not just that it was open 24/7. It was fresh, because back then there were these old school gyms, rusty, and we created something nice that can become your second home. You train in a gym like 2-3 times per week, and you must have this nice environment to do this.
So when you say, let's look at people coming to the gym 24/7 in the evenings, like post say 10 o'clock, I'm sure there was no staff then.
That's
or was
true.
there?
No staff. No.
Right. So that was your first experience of, yes, you can run a gym without staff.
Yes.
So question to you now, how many people actually came in the unstaffed hours initially?
Not that many. There are people with working schedules, like doctors, the IT guys. They used to come early in the morning, around 5 o'clock, or late in the evening. But I would say around 10% of them.
But you still felt that this can become a viable business model because of what? What made you think?
Because people like to have the freedom to choose to go to the gym whenever they want to. And now in the BeFit model, we have these clusters of 4 or 5 gyms per city, even 10 in bigger cities. and one of the gyms will be open 24/7.
So, when one of the things is entrepreneurship and fitness both demand consistency, right?
That's true.
You've seen that. So, between you and your husband, how have you managed to do this? Like discipline, consistency, constant growth. It takes a toll on life as well, right?
Yes, when you are an entrepreneur, there is no work-life, personal life balance, the usual 9 to 5 one. But it's important to find this balance. And yes, consistency is key. And there is something that I learned from being fitness passionate, is that you always have to show up, to be there and do the best that you can, be consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, 9 to 5 every day. No, you can't have that.
Yeah.
But in the bigger picture, you should find this balance.
But how would you find a balance when you had 5 gyms across 3 cities and you had to manage all of them on your own? How did you manage to do this, considering that the traffic between the cities
And
is
2
also
kids.
painful?
And also 2 kids.
And 2 kids. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we automatization. This is key if you want to scale, and you cannot be in 3 cities at once.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct.
So we had the access control in place, the mobile app for members, and qualified staff. This is important too. Even though you have low staff, the staff that you actually have must be good, qualified, skilled, so they can manage. I don't micromanage. I hate that.
So now when bars is part of this larger group, do you see that do you think that bars will still retain its identity, or is it now going to get completely aligned to the new brand that's coming?
It's going to be completely aligned. I don't want to have 2 SOPs. I just want to have one. Keep it simple.
I mean, very few people from the gym industry will say standard operating procedures. Will also, understand, because that's how you scale. I think running one gym site versus running multiple sites is a different business model altogether, because it requires different skill sets, different teams.
That's
a single
true.
gym can do really well. I remember when I was growing, so I grew my business from 1 gym to 40 gyms in about 4 years.
Wow.
And obviously I realized that you can't run 20, 30 gyms the same way you were running 1 gym, because like you rightly said, you can't be at 30 gyms at the same time, can you? And I was running in 3 countries. So we had operations in India, we had operations in the UAE, we had operations in the UK. So 3 different time zones, different staff. And if you are accessible all the time, then your systems are not in place. And then I initially struggled with that. And while I did come from a business management background, I'm a PhD in management, I'm supposed to know this. But what happens is, as you're an entrepreneur, you start feeling that you have to do everything on your own.
Yes.
And then slowly,
Yeah.
it's a trap, and we all stretch ourselves thinking, man, I want to do everything the best. But sometimes you don't require the best in everything. You want a system in place. You want the job to be done in a particular way. You define what way it is to be done, and then just monitor it.
Of course. And this is how you scale.
Yeah, there is no
That's
other
the
way.
key.
Yeah, there's no other way of scaling. So are you happy with this concept, that the new one? And do you think that you will see more Me Toos of this, like more people copying what you're doing, and more brands will come in?
I'm sure.
If they've not come up as yet.
Yeah, yes. I think it's a good concept. We have the courage to test it first.
Yeah.
But when everybody will see the results, as I mentioned, we are going to create the market. We are going to expand the market by opening these clubs.
This is part of which group now? Which, what's the holding of the company? Who holds it? Who's the majority?
Vector Holdings has BeFit and work class. So we are the younger sister in this group. This is how I like to say it.
So do you work very closely with Kent also?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
He is the flag bearer for Romania Active.
Yes, he's the best. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's amazing. And in fact, I got this idea because I was speaking with, I remember I had come for the first Romania Active conference, and they were talking about we're going to do something for Central Eastern European. And then the last time when I was here for the CEE conference, I asked Kent, how's this, this is a very good idea, you're getting people to share best practices, because usually when you do Europe Active, Europe is very, very diverse, right? The challenges of Eastern Europe and Western Europe are very different. Penetration levels are very different. So he says, and that's the reason I want to do something different. And then I honestly thought Central Eastern European was an association. He says, no, it's just a conference. We're just here to share best practices and see what we can learn from each other. I think more people across the world need to do this. 4 or 5 countries get together and say, these are our challenges that we look at.
Similar challenges.
And I remember and when you listen to these stories, I remember the last time I was here, Zolt was speaking about Hungary, and he was talking about taxation there. You don't realize it that their taxation in Hungary is so different from what exists. But you can learn from that. What can you change? How can you tweak the model and make it work? So when you look at, say, in your case, are you looking at BeFit being in only multiple cities in Romania? Or are you looking at other countries also? Because world class is in different countries as well. At some point of time, would you expand globally? Is that the plan?
It could be.
It could be.
Okay. It could be.
Okay, you're not letting it out. You're not giving me the information.
No, I'm not. But
yeah. Okay. So as business grows, right? Say now we're at 100 centers. How would you manage your personal life? As that's going to be difficult. 100 gyms is, I understand processes, but still.
A bigger skilled team. Now we have this simple chart with just few employees, but we are going to get more help. Regarding our personal lives, I think it always got better and better because we are also growing and learning how to manage things.
And so you don't see any challenges as you grow, or you would handle them when they come in? What's the plan?
Of course, we are going to handle everything. This is what we do. I mean, it's mandatory to do it. And I see this by having the right system, having a skilled team, and using AI as much as possible, right?
You mentioned about coaching, right? Now, when you're leading others, your clients, your teams, your partners, whoever works with you, vendors, how do you use these coaching skills, your philosophies, to get the best out of them?
You must get in their shoes. You always have to see both sides of the problem to understand what their needs are, and then to come up with a solution that is good for both sides.
Okay, so let's look at what's happening in the fitness world today. People are talking a lot about well-being, longevity, right? Many things other than just throwing weights around, doing some cardio. Now, in a model like BeFit, do you think you will be able to address that as well? And how would you? And if yes, how?
Yes, I want that BeFit and training in BeFit becomes a second nature, as I mentioned before. And our role is to educate people. Young people must understand that it is not just about aesthetics.
Correct.
It's about health, wellness, balance. Also, in Romania, I think you already know, older people, they don't train. They do physical works, but not all of them. Not all of them in this modern society, and our role should be this one, to educate people to understand that it is about lifestyle and wellness, not just aesthetics.
So how would you impact that in an environment where there is no touch point? So while a normal gym would say, I've got staff who's going to talk to people, we are now addressing a very, and you've taken on a very difficult task, because when people are not talking to each other, when they're coming and doing their own thing and going, it becomes difficult to impact them. And I was speaking with, prior to you, I had Espen on the podcast, and we spoke about something extremely important, that, when we're children, right, we've got high energy, our flexibility is 10 on 10, you can touch your toes and whatever. But as you grow older, your flexibility goes down, your mobility goes down, you stop being more active. So, you have a great opportunity. You can impact Gen Z the right way, because I wish somebody told me the importance of flexibility when I was in my 20s.
Yes.
Nobody did.
You see, they don't communicate directly, but they have more information. And that's the difference. We can educate, we can inform people via our platforms, social media. So we can do this even though we don't have a live agent to do that.
So you're saying...
We are replacing live agents with information, digital information.
And so would this be on your app, or how does it work? How do you... So I come to you, say example, now I'm Gen Z, and this is the first time I'm coming to a gym. The reason I'm coming to this gym is for the reason you mentioned. I've taken gym memberships in the past, but I don't like the environment, too crowded, too many people talking to each other. I want to do my own stuff, and, don't want to pay too much for it. And I'm a typical Gen Z guy. And you want to now educate me as well, because I don't understand flexibility. I don't understand food. I don't understand nutrition, macros. More or less, I'm a newbie to the industry. How do you now start feeding me with information which is helpful for me and which is not the sales information? Most gym chains would communicate 20% discount, 50% discount, 3 more classes. That's not communication around the fitness per se, but it's more around the business of it. So how would you create this platform?
Yes, we are creating digital content. We have the virtual tours for each gym. We have QR codes on each fitness machine where if you scan it, then you get an explanation. A personal trainer explains you how to use that machine and how to create your workout routine.
And what about the basics around lifestyle? How do you manage that? Would you try to do seminars for people? What's the strategy around it?
It's digital content. The strategy is digital content. We are just starting. So now we are starting with how to use fitness machines. And after that, it's a goal of ours to create useful content, digital content.
So tell me, in 10 years from 2015 to 2025 now, how have you seen the market move in terms of perception of fitness and the kind of people who are using our services?
Yes, fitness is not a luxury anymore, and I'm so happy because of that. People are starting to understand better. I also see doctors prescribing fitness.
Exercise, yeah.
Yes, exercising, and we are on the right path with that.
Now, with this change coming into play, where exercise is not a luxury anymore, and people understand now that it is important for them, you have chosen a niche for yourself, which is that you're the flag bearer for Gen Z, and you created a product which will get them in, which is very important, because most of these people, this is the right age to start. If they don't start now, it'll be too late, and then they will probably get overweight and whatever, and then they'll try to rectify the
or
the
they
mistake.
will not start.
Correct, they'll not start. 100%. And that's what happens. I have so many friends whose kids don't want to go to the gym because they feel, I don't know what to do in the gym. I just don't know what to do. I'm young, I can't afford a personal trainer, and I don't know what to do with the machine, and I don't know to injure myself.
Here influencers have a very important role. Younger generations follow these influencers and have the right information.
And are you going to be getting influencers on your board? Are you planning to do that also?
We are planning to do that also.
Great. So you may not have trainers, but you will have influencers.
Yes.
We'll talk to them.
Yes.
So okay. So I've just got this question now. I think it's important. What's going to be a social media strategy? Because I think that's the key for Gen Z.
We are going to be everywhere on every platform. We are going to create content using these influencers. And what I saw, and I'm very happy about it, is that our clients are starting to create content.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes, they are very responsive. Gen Z is very responsive in terms of creating digital content.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah.
They can do magic with the camera. They can do magic with, the mic. I mean, they're so confident. And I meet some of them, and I'm surprised that they're so good on the phone. But when you meet them in person, then they're very shy. It's just a
yes,
trait.
because it's different. The real interaction is a bit different, but they are naturals with in front of the camera.
They're 10 on 10 when it comes to being in front of the camera. So okay, so you're going to get the right role models for people on social media. Your clients are going to become a part of the community. They're going to start creating content. That's how you see this. See the brand BeFit growing. What do you think are going to be your top challenges?
Different markets. Now we started the BeFit clubs in Timișoara, a bigger city. They have experience in opening clubs. Clients experienced different clubs. And then we have the smaller communities where people are a bit shy. They don't know what a recurring membership means. They are just finding out.
Yeah, and that's a big challenge.
It is a big challenge that we don't use money. So the challenge is this one, having the same standards in terms of communication and content. And here is where we have to separate a bit things in the vision and start addressing for each community. And that's why we hire local teams and we create local content for each community. So you will see that we have different BeFit social media pages.
So let's go back to one important thing. When you look at a brand which is expanding, so World Class is a very well-known brand. It's known for something. And obviously they could not run this under the World Class brand because World Class stands for something else.
Yes.
And you said, okay, we're going to come up with a new brand, BeFit, which is going to be Gen Z, targeting Gen Z. You look at different social media strategies, completely different, ICP, completely different customer base, all different strategies. Now, one thing you mentioned was the direct debits, the, every month that gets cut from a thing. I remember I was speaking to, it was Alexandra, I think, I was speaking with Alexandra, and he says, people come back and initially say, oh, you've stolen money from my bank account because you've taken my direct debit, I didn't come to the gym or whatever. How do you tackle that?
We have our great customer support and we take our time to explain to them. They were informed. So maybe we are a bit aggressive with this information, but it is so important. We send them emails, SMS, and when they ask us why did you take my money, well, you were informed about that. This is our policy. This is how it works, and they actually understand when we show them. Well, you received 10 notifications.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I remember the gentleman who was showing us the gym. I don't remember his name. He's a head coach. I don't recollect his name when he was showing the site to us. And he said the same thing. He says, people eventually they will get used to it. When you explain them once, twice, thrice, customers don't know what they want till they have it with them. They don't understand it. But initially people will crib and cry, but then they will get used to it.
So of course they get the best value for the money they pay.
Correct. And that's how all customers are. So how is it different from in the UK market? We've got players like a Pure Gym, where it's almost no staff 24/7, but they're not doing what you're doing. You're doing more than that. Is there a reason why you wanted to make a difference? Because the low-cost market has been in existence in the UK for almost 2 decades now.
Yes, we are the first ones to start this low-cost fitness chain. And we know in Romania people need more attention, more explanation until they will eventually get used to what this all digitalized system means.
How do you compete with other brands in the market? There are other gym chains also, and I know you all are very close. As in, it's a very close knit market, and I love that about the Romania market. But at the end of the day, it's also competition. So how do you make sure? How are you going to get customers to you versus other gyms that exist in the market?
As I mentioned before, we saw their needs, the customer needs, and we created our brand following these needs. It's not vice versa. So we didn't come up with this idea, how can we make more money, and we opened gyms and that's it. No, we saw that 30% of Gen Z goes to a gym, or even more of them want to access a gym. So they were asking for it. They were asking for this low-cost chain.
So is it affordability alone, or is it something else about, will BeFit only be about affordability, or will it be about other things also?
About other things also. We are creating this fresh environment where you want to be with your friends, with your family, and they are super, super accessible, not just when we speak about money, but also access. And we have a nice range of equipment.
Yeah, I've seen the gym looks very good.
Yeah.
It's not like a normal typical gym. It's been very well thought through in terms of your clientele. That I'll have to give that to you. And I think it's also got the right kind of ambience that the Gen Z would appreciate more than, it's not like the old school gyms. It's different. So definitely, I will have to give you that. And I know somebody was telling me about the experiment of how you came up with the logo. There was a full exercise that went behind, showed it to Gen Z and asked, how to, what looks best, why does it look best?
Yes.
And
we did a lot of research. That's what I'm saying. We asked them what do they need, how would the perfect gym look for you? And based on their answers, we created this concept.
So tell me, Alexandra, your involvement with BeFit, when did it start? Was the concept already created? Were you part of did you join in at the time of inception? How did it work?
We are still creating the concept. We are still adapting. The team is super involved. We have the 4 regionals for the 4 regions in Romania. We have the general manager, operational, financial. We are all together every week and we decide what's best. So we are still testing. Still testing and creating.
And do you, like I'd asked you in the earlier, do you see other gyms, other brands which are not at the moment targeting Gen Z? Do you think that you will create a market for them and then you will lose these people to the gym because they now start loving going to the gym? How would you keep evolve? Have you thought about how this would get evolved over a period of time?
I don't think that we are going to lose clients. I think they are going to win clients also. We are creating the market, and Romania is an emergent market.
It is.
So,
yes. So we just need more people to come on the fitness bandwagon, and then everybody is going to win.
Yes.
Now, the other end of the spectrum, right? Just your views on this. So, Alexandra, one is Gen Z. We want them to come to the gym. But there are also people who are, like you mentioned, the older population which is not going to the gym at all. How do we get them into the gym? That's very important.
It is very important. I mentioned before that people love bringing someone in the gym. And I think younger generations can bond super well in the gym with their parents or grandparents. This is the direction that I see for this.
So you see that happening, is it?
Yes. We have to create this community-based gym when we choose to spend time with the dear ones.
I'm just thinking, it's very interesting because your opportunity to create community is only going to be online. You don't expect people to spend time with each other in the physical world. But you're right, as of today, there are Facebook groups, there are Instagram, there are groups across different platforms, WhatsApp groups. I think I personally have more WhatsApp groups than I have contacts because people are is over communicating online. So do you think is that the direction you think the world's going now?
Yes, I mean, we see it already. See it already. And we have to use technology, and we have to use these groups in order to get us closer, to get us more informed. And that's why I mentioned we target Gen Z via social media, but also we create this environment where Gen Z wants to spend time with their families and their friends. And this is how you target everybody.
Right. Like an extension of the
Not
college.
Directly.
It's an extension of the university, the college where they go to. Yeah, I understand. Alexandra, what is your personal fitness regime like? How do you train? What do you train? How do you keep yourself fit?
So Dacian is helping me a lot with this. I'm truly busy at the moment, so it's just the basics: upper body, lower body, 3 times a week, and a healthy diet. It's super important. I like to cook. Dacian also, so we have healthy meals for our kids. We have a balanced lifestyle in this respect, actually.
Yeah, I think this is the most difficult to do. Because you're running a business, right? Obviously, it comes with its challenges and everything, and it's actually about getting simple things right.
Yes, we only have healthy food in our fridge, and this is how you do it. And I work out at home. This helps me. I don't have the time to go to the gym, even though now we have how many? 10?
You have your own gyms?
We have our basement gym at home. Yeah.
So you have a place where you can train.
Yes.
I think it's important. Like I was, just again, like I said before, before this, I was speaking with Espen and I said, it doesn't have to be hours and hours in the gym. You just need to move. You don't even need to go to a gym per se. You can do everything at home. Our challenge is to get those people on both ends of the spectrum. One, which is the really young people who should be coming into the gym, and the old people who don't want to go to the gym. It's these two which are going to create the new markets for us. And for both of them, it doesn't need to be too many. You don't need to have like 2 hours a day to go to the gym. Not everybody has the luxury of those 2 hours. And especially if you're running a business, you have a family, you got 2 kids. So you got 2 kids, you got a husband, you got a business to run, and you want to keep yourself fit.
Yes, and cook dinner.
And cook dinner. And that's again very important. I think people undermine the value of cooking dinner themselves because you know what you're putting in your body. When you go and eat in a restaurant or you go and you do a takeaway, you don't know what you're putting in your body. And then kids get used to processed food. So I am absolutely
this is very important for us.
Yeah, I'm absolutely anti-processing food. I've said this often. I think processed food is more dangerous than cigarettes because, when you buy a cigarette, you're taking an informed decision.
Yes.
You will not be sold a cigarette when you are a 10-year-old. But a 10-year-old can go to McDonald's and buy something which is technically not food. I don't even class McDonald's as food. Yeah. And you say that cigarettes are dangerous, but what about what you're doing to our younger generation?
Yes, every day, 3-5 times per day, we eat.
Yeah, and you're putting such bad things in your body. I remember I was talking to Ollie Patrick and he says, pre-diabetes is such a big thing because you're eating so much of carbs and so much of processed food, your body is getting used to it and you just, your insulin sensitivity goes all over the place and that's really bad for us. So cooking whole food, and I tell this to, friends of mine who are parents, I tell them that, take the time out to cook food, because...
you can hire someone to do the cleaning and all that stuff, but not cooking.
Yeah, we've always, as I was growing up, we always had food made at home. Going to a restaurant was a big luxury, and not because of only financial reasons. I now realize why. My parents used to say home food, and I at that point of time, you think, why are we not going out to eat when we can afford to go out to eat? And the reason was not about affordability; it was about what you're eating and what's good for you, because that put you in the habit of not eating outside. And I think that makes you healthier. I see now the new generation that's coming in, a lot of people just eat out all the time.
Yeah.
Like you go to Starbucks and you realize, you just had a drink, just 600 calories of pure sugar, pure carbs.
I know.
It's a crime?
It's a crime. It's a crime, yeah, actually.
So how do you keep your kids away from this? Okay, let's talk Alexandra as a mother. How do you manage this?
So we don't buy processed food. Mm-hmm. We don't have stocks of sweets at home. No. When we go out, they are allowed to choose whatever they want because I know it's
one time.
One time.
Yeah.
And this is how
it's like a cheat day.
Yeah. Yes, like that.
Amazing.
And they are okay with it.
Yeah. And have they gotten into the habit? So what would you tell working mothers? How do you balance life? You're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
How do you balance life?
You cannot balance it every day 9 to 5, as I mentioned. But if I have to work more hours, 3 days a week, then Dacian is a very good father, a supportive father.
So the fathers need to play an active role as well.
Yes. He has an important role. And then we have the weekends. I try to do something nice with my kids during the weekends. We spend in the evening 1 hour when I read them stories. And because I was an entrepreneur, I had this flexibility so I could stay with my kids at home until they were free, 3 years. So I think I managed well to do that, having this flexibility and freedom as an entrepreneur. Yes, it is a lot of work to do, but also there are good things happening when you are an entrepreneur.
Last question. Alexandra, how would your kids describe you as a mother?
I'm fluffy. This is what they say. Okay. I always have energy. I have this energy all the time because we eat healthy and we exercise, right? And this makes us good mothers.
Thank you so much, Alexandra.
Thank
really
you too,
appreciate
Samir.
it.
Thank you.